It's time to have a party. It's time to celebrate. Not because it's my birthday, which it actually is on October 10th. No, it's time to party with Mario Party. Kind of party. It's like one of those parties you get invited to and you rock up and 3 people are there. There's that one weird guy sat in the corner. No one bought any snacks. There's no chips. There's no dip. And there's not even any soda pop. Yeah, but it's still technically a party, and for your friend's sake, you try and have some fun. That's kind of Super Mario Party. But in that same analogy, I will say this. It's kind of like that same friend. The last 2 years, the parties were so abysmally bad that you skipped out halfway through. But this year, you actually had enough fun to stick around to the end, and hopefully next year will be even better. What does all of that mean, you might be asking? Well, let's dive into Super Mario Party, talk about the good, talk about the bad, and talk about the worse. So there is a few things this game does really well, and we'll start there and then move into the things that I feel are just oversights. Things that Nintendo just completely overlooked or just didn't care. So starting with the good, it is definitely better than Mario Party 9 and 10 for one big reason, and you Mario Party fans will already know this. Mario Party 9 and 10 featured an amazingly boring new mechanic that threw every player into one car, and every roll every player made moved that one car, which in my opinion completely screwed up the strategic board game side of it. How can I plan out my game? How can I make strategic moves when I try and put myself in a certain position each one of my turns, and then 3 other players come along and ruin it before it even gets back to me? It's like if I was 10 years old again and my mum and dad set me, my brothers and my sister down and said, hey, we're gonna teach you Monopoly, except we're all gonna play collectively. So no one's really gonna be a loser, no one's really gonna be a winner. Our turns are gonna be your turns. It's gonna be a lot of fun, guys. We're gonna teach you this board game. And they never actually let us play. That was Mario Party 9 and 10. But Nintendo listened, they removed that feature, and now you are back to playing the old school Mario Party way that I loved and was super fun. Independently making your way around the board, competing for stars and coins. The next thing I really like is the mini games. They're really fun, creative, and enjoyable. An issue we ran into, especially in Mario Party 9 and 10, was repetitive, boring, and uninteresting mini games. And in a way, you almost can't blame Nintendo all that much. 10 titles into a series of games that feature 50 to 100 mini games in each, eventually you're gonna run out of ideas for mini games, and a lot of them are gonna be very similar or just kind of boring. But that's where the Switch itself actually came in and saved the day, because of these bad boys. Between the pinpoint accuracy that is the motion controls in the Joy-Con, as well as other features like the HD rumble, it really opened the door to a load of new, unique, fun, and creative mini-games. They utilize the Joy-Cons so well. For example, just a couple of my favorites would be one where you have to control a frying pan and flip a cube of meat. Between the motion controls, the HD rumble, and seeing the frying pan on the screen, it really does feel like you are holding a weighted frying pan flipping a cube of meat. And when you combine that with the competitive nature of trying to sear every side before your opponents finish theirs, it leads to some really intense flipping action. And when you get down to the wire and you're almost about to finish your cube of meat and you accidentally flip it out of the frying pan and start again, it's pretty frustrating, but pretty funny. The HD rumble in these things are actually pretty cool. There's a mini game where you have to pick up boxes of acorns and you shake the Joy-Con, and using that HD rumble, you can actually feel how many acorns are in the box. You have to try and pick the boxes with the most acorns. And there's a load of other mini games that use the unique features of the Joy-Cons just like those. I could sit here and talk about them all day. They're actually really fun. And then of course you also have a load of mini games that are just unique on their own right. Maybe you are just using the toggle stick to run around, but they're still really fun. They feel inspired and not just thrown in for the sake of throwing something in. Every player is forced to use one Joy-Con just like this, which I've seen people complain about, but I think it's a great idea. Because this way, no player is at any kind of advantage. You're all playing the same way, plus every single mini game was built around using just one Joy-Con. At no point did it ever get uncomfortable. Most of the time you're doing motion control related things or just running around a board game. You don't really need to be holding a Pro Controller for any of this. And of course, just like in any Mario Party from the Wii generation onwards, they have the really awkward mini games that if anyone walked into the room and couldn't see exactly what you were doing, they might end up walking out of the room really awkward and embarrassed. You guys know what I'm talking about.
I really hope that this clip doesn't get taken out of context.
No, it's totally normal.
I don't want anyone using this against us.
And sadly, that's all the good things I have to say about Super Mario Party, and now we're going to tackle the bad things, and they very much outweigh the good things. The first couple of times Nintendo showcased this game before it was released, I got the feeling that it was going to be an ultimate Super Mario Party. I even said that in one of my videos. It wasn't numbered, it's not a continuation of the previous Mario Parties, it's Super Mario Party. I saw it being a brand new, revamped, rebooted almost version of Mario Party. And in a way, I wasn't completely wrong. It is kind of a reboot. They did take a lot of the game back to its core, but they left it very bare bones. And by bare bones, I'll start by saying there's only 4 maps. You start with 3 maps, actually, and then you get to unlock a 4th. Yes, there's only 4 boards total in this game, and they're all very boring and uninspired. The first one is literally just a square loop that you go round and around and around just trying to get stars. The only kind of obstacle or fun thing about the map is that there's 2 Womp blocks that block a certain path and they'll move when you pay them. I remember a couple of my favorite maps from other Mario parties. There was one that was a train, and you went along the inside of the train in a straight line, popped out the other side, and then went on top of the train back around. And while all the players were going throughout the train, the carriages kept lifting up and moving locations, mixing up the board game and mixing up the players. It was creative, it was exciting, it changed the game as you were playing it. And I'm sure a load of you Mario Party fans out there could name your favorite boards down below. There was nothing about these boards to favorite. Having a variety of fun and creative mini games is all well and great, but the other half of this game is the board. The board shouldn't be a means to meet an end. It shouldn't be something you just persevere with, or you wait for everyone to have their turn so that you can play a fun mini game at the end. The board should be as fun and creative as the mini games. And another thing that really rustles my jimmies are the items. The items are boring and they suck. In previous Mario Party games, you had items like a tornado that would turn you into a tornado, and as you moved across the board on your standard dice roll, any player you hit, you would steal coins from. And within all of the other Mario Party games, there are so many other unique and interesting items just like that, but in Super Mario Party, there's like 3. You can get mushrooms, a regular mushroom that will add 3 to your dice roll, a gold mushroom that will add 5 to your dice roll, and a poison mushroom that will take 2 from an opponent's dice roll. Lame, lame, lame. In previous games, you would get extra dice blocks. Rather than getting +5 on a gold mushroom, you would get 2 whole extra dice blocks and let you roll all 3 of those in one turn and get a huge number to move across the board. They couldn't really do that in this one because the boards are so boring and small that 3 dice blocks would probably send you around the board 7 times. The only other item that's really any interesting is the golden pipe, that when you use it, it puts you right in front of the star, which, holy crap, is one of the cheapest items I have ever seen. And you can get that item just by walking past a shop and buying it for 10 gold coins. And the stars only cost 10, so it's a really cheap way of just getting ahead of the game. There's no strategy there. There's no saving up for an awesome item that might maybe give you a star. It's literally a given, here is a star on your next turn, and all it's gonna cost you is 20 coins total. The board game, the actual board game is just, it's just so boring. It's base. It's seriously, if this was the first ever Mario Party game, it might be awesome. It might be a great idea that they can then go and fully flesh out in later titles. Why not just make an ultimate Mario Party and take the best things, the best ideas that everyone has liked and loved from previous Mario Party games and put them all into one? You were so close by taking out the cart and putting it back to a board game. You listened to us that much, but there's so many other things we loved about Mario Party that you stripped out instead. And a couple of new additions to Super Mario Party that Nintendo was proud to introduce was solo play and online play. And holy moly, if they didn't screw both of these up royally. Let's start with online play. When you hear Super Mario Party has online, what's the first thing you think? For me, it was, oh, fantastic, because back in high school, me and my friends used to get together at legitimate parties and play Mario Party on our Wiis and our Wii U's, and we had a lot of fun. Now I'm over here on the States, I was looking forward to picking up Mario Party and playing it with those same friends back in Australia. But No, you can't do that. You don't have access to the board game side of Mario Party Online, only the mini games. You can only play mini games online with your friends. And the reason I was told for this was because the board games can go on so long that if you're just playing online against random people, you're gonna get 45 minutes into a board game and someone's gonna drop out, and that might be frustrating. That's just a risk you run when you play any game online. And secondly, if I'm playing with my high school friends from Australia and I'm doing so good that I cause one or all of them to quit the game and stop playing on me, that's the highest of victories I can achieve, Nintendo. That is my high school party level of victory when all my friends throw down their Wiimotes and they suggest playing a different game because I'm 10 stars ahead and there's no way they can catch up. That's a Mario Party victory. And if I'm playing with my friends, I fully expect them to leave at that point. That's on me and that's on them. I still require that option. It's Mario Party. This is the party in Mario Party, and you're not allowing us to play it online. And it gets even worse. You can only play mini games online, and you can only play a selection of 10 mini games. There's 80 mini games in the game. They only let you play 10 of them online for what I can see as no reason. The connection is fantastic. I played all 10 of these games with RGT85 on a live stream. We didn't have one connection issue. It played smooth, it played amazing, it played perfectly. So I don't see any reason why all 80 of these mini games shouldn't be available. Sean and I played for 20 minutes. We had gone through all of the mini games twice, and we had nowhere left to go with the online service. The online service, which, by the way, recently I started paying $20 a year for. I am now paying for this online service. You release a game shortly after that online service goes live that and I can't play it online. That makes no sense to me, Nintendo. You messed up. So in my opinion, there is no online. Yeah, you can count these 10 mini games, but let's not. It has no online. And the last main thing I feel like is a huge oversight is they really highlighted and pumped up this solo mode. Well, you can't play the solo mode until you unlock all of the mini games, and you unlock the mini games from playing the multiplayer mode. What? Have you ever heard this in your life? You can't play this game on your own until Nintendo has good and rubbed it in that you don't have any friends. I can't wrap my head around that. You can play the multiplayer Mario board game side of things on your own. Sure, you can have 3 NPC characters with you and you can play this on your own. That's technically solo play and you can do that right off the bat. But the dedicated solo mode can't be played until you've unlocked all of the mini games from playing that party mode. However, if you're playing this game with your kids or your family or friends, there is fun to be had depending on the company that you have. I had fun playing this with Billy from Game Chasers, I had fun with Sean from What We Could Play Together, and when I played with Kim, we also had quite a lot of fun. Hey Kim, you want to come in, be a part of the video, give your experiences?
Shot.
Yeah, here you go. So Kim played with me, and she hasn't played all the other Mario parties like I played, so you had a different, I guess, fresher experience. How did you actually sat down playing the mini games on your own?
There were a lot of the mini games that I really liked that I wanted to replay. There was one where it's like Luigi, and he like makes you do the dance moves, and you have to like, do it. Yeah, I like that one.
Did you like the actual board game? Yeah, the board game is boring. That's the board game. Do you like board games? Like usually, if we sat down like with a family and played a board game,
I mean,
like Monopoly
yeah,
or
like
something.
Every holiday we play some sort of Monopoly with my grandparents.
Because the actual board games are fun. But you could tell when you were playing the actual board game of Mario Party, it was just a means to an end. You were just kind of waiting out the round until you got to the mini game.
Yeah, that was pretty much I just wanted to play the game.
Hopefully this is just a reboot starting point and we'll get a Super Mario Party 2 that has more creativity. If you like mini games, you're in for a treat.
Yeah, it's good.
So hopefully I didn't upset any Super Mario Party fans with this video, but if you liked it or you learnt a little something, what should they do? Subscribe, because we become best friends. Click or tap on this video right here because Simon really wants you to, and he's looking at me like, what are you doing and what are you saying? And that's all we have to say about that. See ya.